Mike, we are live. Before we start, we've got Judy with us today, so mind your P's and Q's, please, young man. Judy Hart is joining us. He's one of our delightful partners at the Investors in Excellence. And welcome, Judy, before I welcome Mike. How are you today?
Thank you. That's really good.
Cool.
I'll introduce myself. I'll leave it to you boys for now.
Okay, right. Okay, so the way these things work, Judy, is obviously myself and Mike are seasoned professionals, as you can clearly tell. What we usually do is we start with a bit of news roundup about what's been going on in the week. We've got a few announcements to make, and then this week, we're delighted to be joined by yourself, Judy, and we're going to talk about leadership programs, but more importantly, the new P2P Strategic Leadership Programme we've got going. So before we start with Judy, and we'll let her introduce herself in a second, Mike, anything from yourself in the world of partners? What's going on in the world of our partners?
Exciting week this week, Jamie. Thank you for asking. Welcome, Judy. Great to see you again. It's been a while, actually, obviously since face-to-face, since the last conference back in Birmingham. And I know we've been busy working throughout this whole time during the last 12 months. So really looking forward to hearing what's, what the update is. Partners. So we've lots and lots of good conversations with companies, large and small, actually, that obviously focus on the AP and P2P space. I don't want to give anything away at this stage because we've got a number of people coming to the conference, and we want to. Obviously, we've got the partner focus days that Danielle and I are putting together for a number of our new partners, a couple of whom we announced last week. So Crown and Solly Growth. We've got IBML, and then a couple of new ones that I'll announce once we're all agreed and stuff. But yeah, some really exciting stuff. And obviously, everybody wants to know how they can get involved in the conference, which is, well, we've only got a couple of spaces left now, to be honest. So I'm quite encouraged. Obviously, I've seen the lineup. I know we're going to be announcing it formally in a few days' time. So, and James and the team are busy building the stand, and Danielle and I are doing demos of the platform to anybody who's interested. So if you are interested and you'd like to find out what the opportunity is as a solution provider in the AP or P2P space, if you're not currently a partner and you want to get involved in the conference at any level, please do let us know. We offer a partnership program as well. But yeah, good stuff, really.
Excellent, thank you, Mike. And again, on that theme of the partners and the conference, we've had some good sessions this week with some of our partners, and some of the topics of conversation they're going to cover during the conference, I think, is exceptional. We've got some really great. The whole theme this year is around the essential AP leaders toolkit, and I think our members and anybody attending the conference will go away feeling delighted, not only with the content, but actually the goodie bags, the virtual goodie bags that we're getting ready for people, the actual, the goodie bag, which effectively make up the toolkit. Speaking to our partners this week, which I've had the pleasure of doing so, some really exciting stuff. Now, on that basis, we have an exclusive announcement, and I say it's exclusive. Some of our members may already know, but we this year we're delighted to announce that we've got 3 keynotes for the conference. So each week we're going to announce a new speaker. This week we are delighted to announce that the first keynote speaker that's been announced for the conference will be a young lady called Brenda Edwards. Now, for anybody like maybe the 3 of us on the call here that may not be aware of who Brenda may well be, let me give you a quick synopsis. And Brenda is a regular panelist on ITV Loose Women, the show that plays probably around now, actually. She's probably on television now as we speak. So she's on Loose Women. She's an absolute superstar of stage. So she's on a lot of West End shows, currently touring the country as well in the West End shows. And also, I think she was 3rd or 4th on X Factor a few years back. So you may ask, Judy, I know you're sitting there thinking, why have you got a loose woman star of the television?
Mike's got a smile on his face, so who knows?
Like loose women. Oh, that came out really wrong. I meant the show.
Look, as it's live, Judy, so I can't beep him. But the little bit that nobody knows about Brenda is before the fame and the fortune and all the good stuff that comes with being on the television and whatever. Little did people know that Brenda also was an accounts payable manager in her previous career. So she spent nigh on 25 years in accounts payable, and she's going to tell her story to us live at the conference. And I've had the pleasure of speaking to Brenda a couple of times now, and yeah, we will absolutely be blown away about the story, the backstory, and more importantly, how passionate she is about all things accounts payable. Absolutely amazing. So yes, so before now in the conference, Judy, you need to at least watch Loose Swimming for me to let me know. Do you know who Brenda is? But yeah, it's an exceptional thing for us. We're really looking forward to having her come in and telling a story. And yeah, and again, if anybody's got any questions for me that you want me to ask her during the interview, during the live session, put them in the comments, reach out to me. No doubt I'll manage to squeeze a question into. And actually, before she goes live with us on the conference, I'm going to try and get one of our mugs. We love AP, or I love AP mugs, to see if I can get that on the TV. I'll do my very best to see if I can get that bit of marketing in for that show as well. So stand by your beds, as they say. Okay, right. I think that's enough for this week, Mike. What I'm really keen to do is now, if you wouldn't mind, Judy, you've sat there very quietly while myself and Mike have rambled on. Would you mind introducing yourself to the audience, please?
Thank you. I'm really grateful. And, I can sit still. Some people say that I can't either keep still or keep quiet. But yeah, thanks very much. I'm particularly interested in APA because I was a bank manager for 20 years. So I've had a two-part career, I always say. So I'm Judy Hart. I'm now the privileged CEO of Investors in Excellence. And what a turn of events it's been really in the last few years, not only taking over as chief exec in bittersweet circumstances, where the previous chief exec had 2 brain seizures in 12 months. So, everybody who's thinking about starting work-life balance, get on with it now. But, that followed my career, and my passion early on was all about banking. But then somebody saw that excellence was really what I loved. And it's true. It allowed me then to take through an organization a real passion for doing things to your ultimate best. And, running a business isn't easy for anybody. So, when I sat in the chair at the bank, now it's very different being on the other side. I wish I knew now what I knew back then in the bank. But, here we are, and absolutely intent on making excellence available to as many people as possible across the globe.
Well, lovely. Thank you for that, Judy. I'm not sure if it's a good thing or a bad thing that you're a bank manager, because I must admit I don't think I have a bank manager any longer. I don't think they exist any longer.
Time expired.
No, I do remember the days when you did have a bank manager and you had a relationship with managers. But I think you're right. The whole thing around running businesses and that drive, if you like, for excellence, I think it's something, well, we've partnered up as, between the IIE and the APA in terms of the programs we've been pulling together. And it's all around excellence. And today's conversation I wanted to talk about, one was the brand new P2P Strategic Leadership Programme that's now available, and it's we have lots of people signing up for. But 2, really delve into, why do we think that strategic leadership is really coming to the forefront for organizations as of today? The more organization I talk to about how they're planning and their plans for the future, they are looking to upskill their leaders and their managers, and they are very much looking at strategic leadership. And obviously the space that we fit in, the accounts payable and procure to pay, that end-to-end process it's never been more important, in my view, to start looking at strategic leadership. Would you agree with that, Judy?
Absolutely. I think, we've heard, haven't we, people saying that you're the forgotten end of the business, when in fact you are the primary. Without you, nothing is going to get done. Nobody can afford to do anything. So, long may AP continue to develop the members and listen to the members, because they absolutely know what it's like and what their needs and requirements are. And in terms of strategic leadership, I think the programs that we've worked on and developed by listening to the members has been reinforced more lately, because people really do want to stretch themselves, and they want to move forward in roles that really deliver their own passion, their own expertise, and develop their whole natural abilities and their areas of focus into one of leadership. And strategic leadership in particular, if you now start looking at any job adverts, or you're looking to prepare a CV, dare I say it, or you're looking to mature, strategic leadership is the #1 skill now. So from 2022 onwards, we really must get this whole strategic development, improvement and growth of people. Anybody can develop, improve and grow, but strategically is what's going to deliver the results.
Yeah, and I totally agree. And myself and Mike talk about this quite regularly, with our partner network. But, the qualifications and the certification programs we've had to date are definitely driven at managers at different levels. They're very transactional by nature. They've got a lot of soft skills built into them. But actually what we're seeing more and more now, and one of the things we do as an association is we keep an eye on the market. We look at the global market about what the skills that people need, what businesses really need. And you're right that leadership and strategic leadership is probably the #1 skill set that people are really driving for now. So the other courses that we've seen globally seem to be still very managerial, very transactional by nature. So the program that's been designed, with our members and yourself has now taken that up, 2 or 3 levels. It's all about, creating a strategy for the function, aligning that to businesses, the strategy of a business, and actually being, for the first time, I believe, a real strategic pillar. So you can actually say that accounts payable now, like I think Tom Flynn, one of our colleagues, said, we are the backbone, we're not in the sort of back office any longer. And the reality is this is the time that we really need to push, and it will be down to those strategic leaders that will take functions like accounts payable or procure to pay functions forward. And that's what we're seeing. And Mike, we talk to our partners, and a lot of our partners are moving into that P2P space in terms of that approach. Is that what you've seen as well, Mike?
It is. And many years ago, when I worked for a global forklift manufacturer in the sales capacity, we were blessed by having Sir Clive Woodward come and speak to us about how he created the mindset of champions. He said the difference between, great talent, ability. Everybody at the on the world stage at elite rugby has got talent. There's no question. But the difference between champions and, that little bit more, as well as as others have said, the British cycling 1% marginal gains, all of that. He had like a triangle with the words teacup, thinking correctly under pressure, and in designing the leadership course with Investors in Excellence, I know that the blending learning style and everything is a multifaceted program that gives people the ability to be confident in their ability to operate well under pressure. And at no other time, in the last couple of years, such responsibility has been thrown on, middle senior managers in the AP and P2P function as a result of, circumstances outside everybody's control. And I mean, it's amazing the stories that we hear regularly from members about how they've overcome things, what they've learned, how they've had to adapt and actually feed back and get the benefit of the insight from their team, and done it in a collaborative way. And together as a team, they've moved forward. It hasn't all been on one person. So yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I have to confess, I'm not super up on strategic leadership. I'm a bit of a lone wolf, aren't I guess, but I do understand the nature of stakeholder engagement, winning alliances across the company, bringing in other people and learning together about how to do things better and achieve excellence in the workplace. Because ultimately, if you can do more with less, which is our core theme and always has been from last year carried through to this year, and the Essential Managers Toolkit and equiping people for success in 2022. I can't wait. I know we've had a few people go through the program already, and I'd encourage anybody looking at taking their own career forward, even that of their team, to start to see what benefits may be in there for you. And I just want to touch on something that Judy said earlier on about a particular incentive that's running in the West Yorkshire region. I'm not sure, Judy, is it elsewhere in the country? Is it just West Yorkshire at the moment?
No, it's just West Yorkshire at the moment, yeah.
So you'd mentioned that that's part of a European Social Fund. So they've underwritten it, obviously European money, You know, who knew? It's still available. I believe it's a limited time. Is end of September is the deadline.
We need to be signed up by the end of September. Yeah.
Okay, so if anybody's looking at, you know, training, excellence, development of their teams and people, and it doesn't have to just be in the AP function, does it? It can be across a business, yeah?
Across the business, any size of business, and it's not limited to private or public, so it's open to anyone. But the saddest thing will be if those in that West Yorkshire area don't take advantage of it, it will go back to government. And I really don't want to see that happen.
And that equates roughly to about a 40% saving overall on whatever level of investment a company's prepared to make. They get 40% back. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
So there you go, folks. If you're listening to this and you have a defined need, or you'd like to talk to Judy about how she can help you build a business case and apply for that funding for your business, then please do, you know, get in touch below, reach out to Jamie or myself, and you know, act now, because the deadline's fast approaching.
And I think it's not all about strategic leadership, and neither is all of the work that we've done together, is it? It's strategic leadership, actually, to pick up on your comment, Mike. I don't think people do understand it. And, you know, it's a lot of these things, excellence included, have been shrouded in mystery by lots of detail, of words, of paper. And it's none of those things that becoming a leader, but starting possibly to look at yourself and the way you work with others, and how you do your work in your profession, is the best place to start. So not to miss out perhaps on how we've designed the courses in a 3-stage process. You may want to go straight into leadership and straight into strategy. If you do, we will handhold you through the process. That's not a problem. But you will miss out potentially on starting at the start point, if you like, which is all about strategy, and how really you want to do the culture, the vision, the values, the ethics, before you get too deep into things that you can't control.
And it's sorry, Joe, it's an online course, isn't it? So you can learn at your own speed. There's an element of mentorship involved, and feedback and assessment, and so it's an interactive learning journey, isn't it?
It is, and you know, that can be done in a really partnership fashion. That's what we want. We want the individual to reach out to us. However, even if it's, I'm not sure if I should start it, I don't know whether I can I commit the time? And all of these things can be overcome. It's just reaching out to, you know, all of us really, and Mo in APA, who has got a really good understanding now of how the courses link together. But we're here for you, the learner, and it's you that it's all about. Yes, we then give the value back to the organisation. Why shouldn't we? They've paid the bill, hopefully. So they need to get the benefit from it. But all of these are skills for life.
Yeah, and let me just pick up on a couple of things both you said there. As an ex-AP manager for many a year, I don't have the glitz and glamour of Brenda, but I know how difficult it is to be parachuted into an accounts payable team as a manager, have little to no, you know, guidance on how to build the team, build the morale, you know, fix their issues, the process, whatever it will be, and then actually turn around and say, oh, can you go and design a 5-year plan about how we're going to invest in the team, the people, we're going to improve the process. And that's where true leadership and strategic leadership comes in, because ultimately, you know, a lot of our members, the people we've worked with, and we've had the pleasure for 5-6 years working with managers throughout the UK and Europe as well, they fall into these roles. So they're not trained managers generally. Most of their jobs are people management, you know, and an element of process ultimately. So they're learning on the job. And the great thing about the P2P leadership course is, yes, it takes all that into account, but actually now, more importantly, when we're seeing roles develop and businesses now saying, look, yes, we are going to unfortunately have to do more with less. We want to get more value from our functions. This is why people need to look at the leadership program. And, you know, clearly I would say that, as we're invested in terms of time, effort, and this is a program we're doing, with yourself, Judy. But I've seen this program and I've seen the feedback we're getting on the program, which is absolutely exceptional. We've got, heads of shared services telling us that these leadership programs are essential for managers to take part in. And, that's the thing for me where, ordinarily when I've sat at roles, head of shared services previously, I would have loved somebody to come to me and said, we can train your managers from manager to a leader, and we'll take them on a journey step by step, rather than here's an MBA qualification that will, hopefully get them some kudos. But this is the reality of what they're doing. This is hands-on, it's role specific, it's a P2P strategic leadership program. So it takes them through all the elements, but ultimately, not only does the individual get a lot of benefit, but so does the organization. And that's what we're seeing. And I know that you've spoken many a time with myself and Kevin about the value that organizations are seeing from this student.
And I think it's the way that we all work with our members and our colleagues. We don't want ever to be seen as a consultant who holds information back. We're the complete opposite, as is APA, and what you stand for. It's giving people the opportunity not only to learn, but to still have access to materials, tools, techniques, and any time that I've got a question and I just don't know if I know the right answer, or can I just bounce it off you? Absolutely. It's never a waste of anybody's time. But what we do is transfer knowledge, and the skills for life thing is one of the phrases that's been used for many years when we've had best practice networks and things like that. The formality that we've brought with the courses, and as Mike says, online courses, is to give that information in your hand. And the platform that we all use is a platform that you can then keep logging into. So you'll always have access to the tools and techniques, even if you want that refresher. And it doesn't matter whether you're starting out in the P2P process or you're a senior executive. It really isn't. It's all about you and how you develop, and the most that you put in, the most you will get out.
Yeah, excellent. And I totally agree. Sorry, Mike.
So I was just going to say, obviously we've got our conference coming up in October the 19th. Tickets are on sale now. I think we've got a discount, haven't we, running for the next few weeks. As an attendee or as a delegate at our event, obviously all the partner booths will be there. You can access free content and download. But we're giving away this year an essential AP leaders toolkit, which is going to equip you as a giveaway, a goodie bag with lots of things that you can take away, digest at your own leisure, and then obviously pick up or engage with as you see fit. And Judy's going to be presenting at the conference. There's going to be competitions, there's going to be stuff to win, stuff to and obviously you can ask her any kinds of questions on the stand, on the day, and even before the event, I believe. So
not about loose women.
Not about loose women, no. But as soon as we've got that platform live, which will be a couple of weeks' time, we're going to start to build that out, and obviously well in advance of October, there'll be opportunities for you to come and have a look and to get involved. So keep an eye on the website, the AP-association.com website. There's all the sign-up pages and everything. And keep an eye, if you're already opted in, GDPR compliant. If you've opted into our newsletter, you can receive updates from all of our partners as we go through the month of September and October. And we very much look forward to having you at the conference.
Yeah, and just on that point, Mike. So Mike doesn't know this, by the way, Judy. So I'm going to drop the bombshell on him now. But I'm like yourself, Judy. I'm a big people person. I love meeting people, and I think as the country's opening up more and more, I'm fortunately going to meet some of our members, some of our partners, and we're doing sort of less Zooms, a little bit, and less sort of over these sort of sessions, but we're doing more face to face. So one of the things I'm doing between now and the conference is I'm going to go and visit some of our members and go around the regions. So if anybody watching this would like a visit from a balding, bearded Birmingham lad who would come And the reason why I make that offer is because, one, I want to go and meet the people again, which I think we need to get back to, meeting people face to face. But two, with any of our programs, especially leadership programs and any courses, that sometimes you may struggle to get the approval, or the reality is you've got to go and talk to somebody about getting the approval to go and do these courses. If I can help, or we can help in some way, shape or form, please by all means reach out. I speak to CEOs, I speak to CFOs all the time, and I have the pleasure of doing so. And my offer is really that I'm going to go around the country. So if there's any particular area people want to see me, then please let me know. Try and get it sunny and a cup of coffee at least for me. But I am going visiting. So from next week on, I've got a whole range of people I'm going around the country to meet. We may even do a live session, Mike, from one of the places I go to. We'll see whether I can get the technology work for us. But yeah, so the idea there really is, one, I think it's important that we start to meet people face to face. But two, if there's anything we can do, if there's anybody you'd like us to speak to, me included, just reach out, let us know, because we know that it can be a struggle. And the offer from ourselves is that we will support you. We'll try our best to try and convince people that it's the right programs for you to do. And before we finish today, I just wanted to jump on a couple of the comments actually we've had in the session. So Kat Moy, who we all know was a guest on last week's show, which went down exceptionally well. In fact, she really like today, Judy. You've shown me and Mike up as a great as a co-presenter. Kat did an exceptional job, and she's just put a little comment on one of our lives saying that this program sounds absolutely fantastic. It really will boost the industry to the moon, and she's absolutely right. It's what we need. We've got great programs, we've got a great community, we've got a great membership, as a community as well. And I think this is sort of that, that creme of the creme, where we are now moving our function, our people, to more strategic leaders, which is where we actually deserve to be. And that's why I really implore our managers, old and new, please go and look at this program and reach out to either Judy or ourselves if you need any further details. Anything from either of you before we wrap up for today?
Ladies first. Go on.
I'll hold all the cards here. I just wanted to thank Kat, because she was a really good presenter last week. I think she presented her not only the association but her role really, really well. But the context in which she has put her comment to the moon, I can't quite offer you an astronaut, but the programme, the content and the Investors in Excellence standard have all been reviewed by a number of people, including an Olympian, a double Olympian. And he said, if I had those courses and that standard when we were going through our training, we would have got gold far more easily. So I thought that was fantastic.
Well, Mike, go and try and top that one then, Mike.
Well, all I was going to say is, don't take our word for it. There are a number of people who've already been through the program, and we're happily put you in touch with those people. You can talk to them about what they learned, how it worked for them. It's a quality course. There's loads of content. I don't think anybody would be disappointed. And on that basis, I'd encourage you to get in touch with Judy and just start that journey if it's something you're at all interested in.
Perfect. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Judy, for today. And before we wrap up today, a quick shout out to next week's guest. So we've got Rachel Long from Breeding Group joining us next week. Rachel's always a brilliant
3P.
We need to just remind people that, as crazy as she is and her team is, they're doing for a charity. They're doing the 3 peaks. And again, if you want to, we've committed to supporting that. Please look on Rachel's LinkedIn profile, and there's a Just Giving page there as well. But yeah, we can't wait to have Rachel with us next week. Hopefully she won't have changed her mind about the 3 peaks, after talking to us. But she's always an exceptional guest every time we spoke to her. So look out for next week. Judy, thank you so much for today. You've been exceptional. Mike, any last words before we finish for today?
Coming up next week, we've been very busy talking to a number of new and existing partners about the calendar for the rest of the year and what that looks like into 2022. We're just planning. We've got to plan so far ahead these days, but I will be announcing shortly our calendar of forthcoming webinars. It'll be on the website and it'll be on our hub for those who've got the app, the Accounts Payable Association app. Download it on iOS and Android. Sign up, join in. But yeah, I hope to be announcing all of the dates once Danielle and I have confirmed a number of things with, all of the people who are going to be contributing content to our channel. So they're bringing some very interesting stories and some use cases and some really thought-provoking downloadable content that you can consume for free, as always. So yeah, that's coming up next week.
Brilliant, thank you. Well, on that note, we're right on 30 minutes, so thank you again, Judy. And again, all the details for today's session will be below. And if you need to have a chat with any of us, please reach out. And we will see you, no doubt, Judy. If I don't come and visit you when I'm doing my round robin tour of the country, we'll no doubt see you on October the 19th at the conference.
Yeah, thanks, gentlemen, and every member. Take care. Keep safe.
Thank you, Judy.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.